Hello. Okay, this is very awkward for me. I'm gonna try. I talk fast, so I apologize if that flow of consciousness comes in quick. But I need some advice, and I'll start off first of all with some background on me. My name's Don Michael. I'm from LA. Um, I worked in the entertainment industry. I had some issues down there, so I moved up to assist my parents who had retired, who race vintage race cars in Monterey, California, and basically got stuck up here. And didn't have many friends. Whatever. Was very depressed for a while. Blah blah blah. And to add into this, and this is amazing, when I realized it later, um, because of some of my past chemical issues, and when in LA, I've been sober now for 11 years on April 26th. Now, I've had four near deaths on that date, on different years and for different reasons, and I didn't even realize that, and didn't think too much about it until in September of 2010, which was just a few months after the April 26th near death. Something happened to me. Something very, very powerful happened to me, and I've talked to other people who I finally found. You got to keep in mind, I'm a guy. I'm just like, you don't call up your homeboys and start saying, "Hey, are you talking to angels?" And so I didn't know who to talk to, and then finally, after about months, people started approaching me and saying, under their breath, "I know what you're talking about." But when I described to them what happened to me in my awakening, they're totally like, "I don't know what you're talking about," and it had to do with like, I called a girl that I hadn't talked to in a friend in 7 years, and basically blurted out something I barely remembered actually about her mom dying. No one except her family, not even friends and other friends and family, knew that this woman was even sick, and apparently I called just before this woman died. This very much impressed this girl, and the family approached me and said something to the effect of, because I was still not believing it, which is weird because you're giving someone like, when I John Edwards or something, like I was making fun of it. I'm not a non-believer. I'm kind of open-minded, but I mean, I didn't want to get labeled as like the new age or hippie guy. Whatever. I had intuition. Something happened. Okay, weird things happened in my life, but I never saw it as it was a permanent spiritual thing. And then they tell me that they believed that this contact wasn't for them; it was for me. They must have known something about their mom. Um, that they think I'm being contacted, and this was like an example to show you things. That next months, and it was so overwhelming. And David Icke says this in one of his videos. All this information would just flood into me, and I'm not talking about like flowers are pretty, mathematical equations, and I would wake up in the know. Like, I mean, I see guys post about numerology. It's like I still have that ego in me. You can write any number out, and I'll break it down in a second and be accurate. I don't know how I know that. I'm not. I've never been known as being some intelligent guy like that. And I don't see ghosts around here, but I just get that like, voice in my head telling me that we're going to show you. They told me no numbers, no dates, but no numbers, no dates. They would give me these riddles so that I would learn. And they said women are your weakness, so be careful. So don't get any. We don't want you with women, and we don't want you with dates. So no, but you will know numbers, and you will know dates. And I became very accurate at this. In fact, a lot of people don't know. On 3/11/11, about a year later, I knew something was going to happen because of the 3/11/11 and 33. I knew was very representative of truth and God, Creator, and 3/11/11 was the day of the Fukushima earthquake, and so that confirmed it. I even had an incident where, and see, I don't know. I still feel embarrassed talking about this, although put me up on stage and I'll show you. They say I can't make money on it. That's the voice I heard. But I got really angry one day to prove this to somebody because they were going to get in some criminal problems, and I was trying to tell them that I'm for real. And so I went and got a Fantasy 5 number, totally randomly picked the numbers, and boom, I picked every winning lottery number. People say, bullshit. I put that, I mean, let me burn in hell if I'm not doing that already, if I'm lying about that. And people witnessed that and denied it. They were like, oh, well, anyone can do that. You just got lucky. I'm like, I told you ahead of time I was going to do that, and I did that. So it was a really rough time for me. But I had a friend even before that when I moved up to this area, we started connecting really well as friends, which was odd because she's one of those girls, and it's not because she's some super hot supermodel. She has an aura about her that attracts guys. Guys like think they're her, she's their mom, and then other guys like she's had guys come run up and choke her. So it's not like I'm a hired bodyguard. I'm not even some big tough guy like that. But I've had to be a protector for her. She lived with me for a long time. I'm apparently the only guy that never tried to have sex with her. Her ex-boyfriends are scared to come to my house, and I'm laughing at this stuff. And but she doesn't ever really seem to refer to it except on occasion. Fast forward, fast forward. We're having coincidences everywhere. I mean, like we telepathically are connecting. Where I will say, call me right now, my phone will ring, and that happens like every time. I'll get a burning sensation on my back, and I didn't even know what it was, and I knew right away she was getting a butterfly tattoo, and I called her, and that's exactly what was going on. So this happens a lot. I have a feeling she was just uncomfortable talking about it because I'm a big mouth guy, But you know how people talk in code, and you have to kind of read between the lines of what they're saying. I do that a lot also. But as of recent, I was going to say the code we use for them, because I do work with other females, is they're the Marys. There seems to be some spiritual presence around me where guys back down. I've had guns put in my face like a lot recently, and they told me to look them in the eyes, wreck them in the eyes, and I've had them literally like babies run away. But why? And the police are like, why are you all in all these incidents? Are you selling drugs or something like that? And that's what I want to know. And it always seems to be about protecting a female. We hadn't talked for a while, but then I started having visions of her being with their portraying. I know this sounds corny. The Revelations 12.7 of Archangel Michael fighting with the dragon. Of course, coincidence, which I call confirmation. Then all these other girls that I'd helped out, in the past, like, I just help. That's just a habit I have to help them out when they're in trouble, because they always seem to be dealing with asshole guys. I'm not a big fan of guys because you guys are kind of assholes sometimes, a lot of the time. They started giving me dragon necklaces, so I'm getting confirmation there. But she's praising the guy, overly praising the guy, and she shows me a picture of the guy, and it was exactly how Lucifer was portrayed to be, like very fake muscle, like steroided out muscle Arnold Schwarzenegger guy. And it's weird because her first boyfriend that I protected her from, that's why she came to live with me. And nothing happened with us. She was like my best friend. And people think I'm the gay guy, and I'm not even gay, because they're like, there's no way he never made a move on you. And she confided in me that I'm literally the only guy besides a family member that is not trying to make a sexual advance at her. And I thought that was kind of weird. Again, fast forward. She doesn't like talking about that stuff. I'm getting signs something's wrong. Okay? And if we want to use a movie metaphor, I'm clearly getting signs there's something wrong. If I dare confront her, or if I dare give her any kind of read, she'll give me the whole, you're fucking psycho, you're on drugs, you're blah, 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 on and on and on. She'll never tell me if I'm wrong or right. I'll then call her on the phone instead of texting. She won't answer the phone for days. She'll block me on Facebook. And I didn't even say anything wrong. Then she goes off and tells all her friends that I'm a psychopath. Is this code? She's telling me that she's in danger, or is something influencing her? I know it would seem like an obvious answer. But my other human angelics, half of them tell me, cut the bitch off. She's clearly a psycho. But the other half are telling me, because I do see signs in some of the things she's saying, so I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, she's a very conservative girl. Like, like a sexual conservative girl. This is very pretty. And she'll tell me things, which I don't think you should tell a guy that you're around. Like, oh, do you know he likes to show me sex movies and thinks he wants to do stuff like with me? Like, she paints a picture in my head. And she knows that drives guys crazy. Oh, I bought 200 condoms because, oh, do you think I should go on the pill with him? Those aren't things that you would tell me. And then I say something very casual, like, are you feeling okay? You said you were bloated. Are you on your cycle right now? You're a pervert. You're a fucking sex pervert. When we lived together, we shared that information with each other, so I would know when not to mess with her during the month. And now she's flipping it around. Am I being attacked by whatever has her under control? Because she makes the guy look like he's the nicest guy in the world. Then she's trying to claim that I'm threatening the guy and coming at the guy. You're trying to beat up my man and this and that. Total absurdity. Now I'm getting deleted by some of her other friends, and it's weird because the other section of friends are like, dude, you were right on target, dude. She's psycho. But I've been called psycho too. I don't think she's psycho, but I don't know what's going on. Do any of you have any experience with this? Would anything like that be accurate? Because I know that there are other, what we call the Marys out there. They're like archetypal, the Virgin Marys types, and sometimes evil energies step to them. And I have a history of always being around protecting those women. But these visions are so intense that I'm thinking they're trying to trick me into doing something stupid. I'm not going to knock the guy out or anything. But I don't want to be the dumbass that goes over there because she's like, I'm going to get a restraining order on you. I'm like, I haven't seen you in 2 years, and I called you one day. And so she knows how to push my buttons in ways that I'm like, seem as if she's being fed psychic information about things that would scare me. But at the same time, it's hard to read her because I'm thinking, are you trying to tell me you need help, or are you telling me you really think I'm psycho? I don't get it. Because I got 50 other women here that'll tell you, Don saved me from being raped once, and now you're telling this guy because he said, hey, are you okay? Leave me alone, and you won't stop bragging about how you and your man are going to have a baby, and this and that. And even that's been weird stuff because in some of the things they showed me, and I had no physical attraction, well, physical attraction maybe, but I'm very honest with her. We've always been very honest with her. I'm like, I once masturbated to you because you're hot, and she likes that honesty. Now I'm like, but I got shown things like we're supposed to be together and things like that. I don't like to tell her that because that, of course, then she's going to be like, oh, I'm going to tell my man. I don't think the guy exists. That's what people are telling me because she has no pictures of him on Facebook or anything, and she sent me about 100 pictures of the guy. It's always the same picture. She said she met him in the 5th grade, and then re-met him 2 years ago. Now she's changed it to like they've been together since the 5th grade, and they were actually together for 5 years because she started flirting with him 5 years ago. I know her very well. She's had like 5 boyfriends in that period of time. So I'm like, so you were flirting with this guy while you had 3 other boyfriends, and then you're telling me you're this angel. So do you think it's a psychological warfare thing? I know it seems obvious. And if it is, am I being baited in to something bad? Because right now I'm just cutting her off. But then I get that feeling of like I'm abandoning her. And if anyone's familiar with stuff like this, because we've all been talking about how we don't feel well, and I mean, that's one of the things I love about Facebook. I don't care what anyone says about it. When you see a post about something you're experiencing, it gives you such a good feeling. So I'm totally calling this out to the women. The guys can, you guys can go to hell. Like 9 out of 10 of my friends right now are females, and they know what I'm about. And then my closest friend is coming at me sideways, and it's really taking off. These are the girls, but I'm telling them I think something's really wrong here. Like it was just weird. I saw the Lucifer connections, and she'll tell me things, and I'll literally read the same incident out of the Bible. I'm like, well, I guess the Bible wasn't a lie, and so I don't know what to do. My brain's scrambled on that, as you can tell. Any advice would be appreciated. Love you. Peace, love, and light. Or Mike 7 Deuce.